selfish ghost.
Alright guys, so my name's FlightX4, and this is kind of an introductory video to my channel. We're in XPlane right now at Tampa International Airport in the stock Cessna 172. We're going to do a short hop from here to Peter O'Knight. We're going to take off north, turn west, turn south, turn east, and then swing around into Peter O'Knight. We'll hook around downtown Tampa. I'm just going to take this time to introduce myself, explain what I want my channel to be about, what I'm about, stuff like that, and we'll go from there. I'm not really trying to go for super realism in this one, so I'm not going to worry about ATIS. I'm not going to worry about proper approaches. I'm probably just going to do a straight-in approach to Peter O'Knight, and it's not going to be that. I just want to go over some of the things that I want to talk about and I want to do in my channel, and hopefully be able to get you guys to like, subscribe, share, and want to be a part of it. If not, then I'm still gonna do it. I'm not so much doing it for the attention or whatever. It's I want to do it for when I do XPlane stuff. I want to have more to do during my flights. I like to do a lot of general aviation flights, and a lot of times during slower aircraft. So I fly this 172 a lot. So let's go ahead and get started with the flight. Get up in the air, and we'll talk some more. Stuff here. Alright, so we are going to set flaps to 10, though we don't really need to. We are going to check that our free and correct, and okay. Alright, so let's go ahead, release the brakes, go ahead and start advancing power for takeoff, and we'll go from there. Airspeed is alive. Try to maintain on center line. 60 knots. Rotate. Pitch for about 70 knots. On our climb at about 1,000 feet a minute. And when we get to about 400 feet above the ground, we'll go ahead and make our turn out to the west. So we'll go ahead and make our turn. Crossing over the Veterans Expressway. Go ahead and pitch up some more. Start to roll out, and that should be a good heading right there. We'll pitch up some more. Again, we want to maintain about 70 knots. 70, 75. I'm good with that. So go ahead and we'll bring flaps up. We'll have the drop in the nose due to the decrease in lift. And we'll pitch up some more for our airspeed to maintain it. So again, like I said, this video is for introductory purposes. I kind of want to have a little fun with YouTube and streaming and doing some stuff. And I also want some more to do when I am playing XPlane. I do play XPlane a lot. And it would be nice to be able to do something along the way. Help the time pass by a little bit sooner. So that's what I hope to do in this channel. We're going to head and start our turn to the south, and we're going to go ahead and reduce speed because we're at our altitude where I want to be at. So that's what this flight's about, and this is what my channel's going to be about. I do have a few series that I'm going to do along the way. One of the games that I want to get into showing you guys is a game called Warface. And for those of you that don't know, it's a free-to-play first-person shooter off of Steam. Good graphics, good physics, good amount of people on it, so there's a good amount of firefights that you get into. And the maps, I think the maps are outstanding. Okay, we are reduce throttle to about 2,000 RPM. We got to bring our altitude down a little over 100 feet. And I also wanted to get into some other stuff, like a Does It Suck segment. those games that either have mixed reviews or poor reviews, but look like they could be good, and you still want to try it anyway, are the ones that are really cheap, and you're like, I just don't know. I kind of want to get into those. We'll go ahead and start our turn to the east. Interesting factoid: this airport off to our nose is MacDill Air Force Base, which is home of Southcom, which run the operations out in Iraq and Afghanistan, and we are churning over Interstate 275 and the Howard Franklin Bridge over here in Tampa. So we're going to follow the interstate out and about, and off to our nose now is downtown Tampa. So we're flying under visual flight rules today, so we're trying to use landmarks to go ahead and increase throttle a little bit, go back up 100. In here talking, I'm not paying attention 100%. I'm 100% hand flying. In most of my general aviation flights, I prefer to hand fly than to set the autopilot. But back to what I was saying. So I want to do a Does It Suck segment for those mixed review games off of Steam, or those rare cheap games that just seem like they have a great premise. And one of the reasons why is that I remember as a kid, I would go to the store with my dad. The one I remember the most was Office Max or Office Depot, and they always had that small little section of computer games, and they're normally $20 and under, and you would look at them and you'd be like, God, that looks like it's amazing. I want it. And sometimes you would get it, and it would be amazing. And then other times you would get it, and it definitely would not be amazing at all. So I know we've all have had those experiences on Steam. So I want to go through, and I'll probably take you guys with me in picking out those games, and then we'll play them for a week or two, and you guys can comment and like and share and all that stuff on whether or not you guys like it, think it's a good game or not. See what the verdict is, and I'll do I might do a little write up or something like that, and see if anybody wants to read my opinion, they'll be able to, and we'll be able to go from there. So those are just some of the few things that I want to get into. And then I definitely like games with a decent story. So like Kona, though I know a lot of people have done Kona. There's a few other games out there that I want to get into and playing around with. So we'll just have to see how that goes. I'm going to increase throttle just a little bit. So that's what I'm about. This is going to be my first video. It's not my first recorded video. I had a little difficulty in the beginning with recording videos, and I still haven't really got one to where I'm like, you know what, I think this is post-worthy. I'm trying to figure some stuff out, and I'm learning as I go along. So if there's anything that you guys want to, any comments or stuff, listen, I take good criticism. Trolls are trolls. You guys are going to troll me. You guys are going to make fun of me. It's fine. It's cool. It shouldn't happen. We're a community of people who play games and simulators and things like that, and we should treat it as such. But it is what it is. So we'll go ahead and come off to the side here, and so it is what it is. For those of you that do like me talking and seeing the stuff that I'm doing, then please let me know. Give me the thumbs up. Let me know that this is something that might be a little worthwhile. If it is, it is. If it isn't, it isn't. It's fine. I'm probably still going to do it just because it gives me a little something extra to do during my flights, and it gives me a reason to talk instead of sitting in a room with the computer quiet by myself, because my wife isn't big into flight simulator games. Go figure, right? So, right now we're headed over Tampa. Out there's the bay. This is part of this is going to be like the port area over here. Oh, look at that. We're nice and high again. Let's pay attention to flying. So look at some of the scenery. As of right now, it's all my scenery is stock. I'm not using track IR or anything. I just used a mouse. But most of my scenery is stock because I don't fly for the scenery, at least in XPlane. In real life, definitely for the scenery. There goes downtown Tampa, which it's actually fairly modeled relatively decent. A few different things. The biggest one being this building here, right there. Which that building is supposed to be the Sykes building, which in real life is... in real life, we're going to go ahead and reduce throttle. About 1,700. because we want to start our descent down for Peter Night, which is a completely round circular building. It's definitely a very interesting building. We're going to pitch for our airspeed, so I'm good at about 90 knots. We'll slow down a little bit to get into our flap speed. But I mean, FSX was amazing for scenery, stock scenery, especially for large cities like that. They did a very, very good job. I do like FSX Steam Edition. I have a problem with it. I have Windows 10, and when I first built my system and ran Windows 10, FSX Steam Edition ran great. And in fact, I didn't have XPlane, and at the time, I'd never even played XPlane. But I did a Windows update, and all of a sudden, FSX Steam Edition stopped working. Apparently, a lot of people have had these issues, and I haven't really researched it. I uninstalled it, reinstalled it, uninstalled it, reinstalled, and then I went a while with it not installed. Steam refused to give me a refund on it, even though I couldn't play it anymore. And I'm so sorry for the yawn. That's weird. I reinstalled it recently here, and it isn't fixed, and I haven't really researched it. So if anybody knows why it's not working or what I can do that's outside of just regular, uninstalling it, please let me know. We'll go ahead and make our turn over here. We're going to head south for a little bit, and then I will show you guys, well, maybe not 100% south, because I don't think we really need to. We're going to end up coming across over this bridge here for our approach. So we'll come out just a little bit more. We're going to continue to drop down. And then we'll just swing out. And we'll go ahead and drop flaps, which will give us a balloon and lift, so lift the nose. And right like that, we'll start getting lined up for the runway. Now, this runway, at least in this approach, doesn't have the PAPI lights, which are the red and white lights which help indicate the glide slope. But we're under visual flight rules. We'll just do it by eye and pray to God that I don't have a screwed up landing. So back to what the channel's going to be about. There's going to be a lot of X-Plane and flight related things because I like doing, flight related stuff. But there's going to also be some first person shooter type stuff with, Warface and the biggest thing will be the does it suck. I'm really hoping to get into that because there's games to where it's hard for me to pull the trigger on to justify. But if I'm showing you guys it and as a community together we're figuring out if it's good or not, I can take the financial hit to see if it's even worth it for you guys to want to buy it. And you guys may say, hey, you know what? I like it. Let's go ahead and jump on it. I'm going to buy it as well, and I'm going to buy it as well. And maybe we take an indie game that not a lot of people have played and doesn't have mainstream media, and it needs some work to become a lot more successful game. Maybe we're able together as a community make it more successful. So we're at 70 knots. We're doing pretty good. It looks like we're on the glide slope coming in. For one way, I'd probably say this is going to be 2-2. And we're looking pretty good. And come right over the trees, over the little canal. This is, realistically, this area here would be the port of Tampa that we're flying over. Again, it's not that model, though they did make it a warehouse district. So it just would be great if we had the ships and stuff like that, going through. But that's fine. Like I said, I'm not doing this 100% actual and factual, so we're going to pitch up just a little bit to slow our speed down. So I would like to cross over the piano numbers at about 60 knots, so we're doing good. Coming over the trees here, we're at 100 feet, so we're looking good. This runway is not the longest in the world, but that's okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to, once we come over the piano keys and the numbers, which for runway 22, we'll go ahead and we're off power. We're going to flare. Coming in just shy of, okay. Flare. Flare. And we drop the nose. And we'll straighten up. And I'm not using an actual rudder. So my braking's okay, and we'll come to a stop. All right, so we're done. Really quickly, what I like to do in my flights is I like to go and we'll switch our view out to chase, and we'll zoom out just a hair, and we'll come up and around, look at the airplane, and then we'll go to aircraft, and we'll go toggle replay mode. And not to replay the whole thing, but I do like to look at the approach from the outside, and it's just a way to help gauge if I did a decent flare or what. I liked my approach. I felt the approach was good. We're lined up pretty well. We're a little left to center line, but that's fine. We came in at a good speed. Like I said, this was just a straight-in visual approach. No PAPI lights, no nothing. Not worrying about what the weather should be or any of that stuff. We're just coming in. Again, this is to introduce myself to you guys. I'm FlightX4. I hope to meet some of you guys and talk to some of you guys, and I hope this to become something successful and grow the channel and have some fun doing it. Listen, at the end of the day, man, guys, if we're not having fun, what's the point? Okay, when I go to my day job, I go to have fun. Okay, and in doing so, it's not work. It's fun. I enjoy myself, and that's what I want to do with this, and I hope you guys enjoy it as well. So let's go ahead and see how well I flared. I felt like I flared a lot, but XPlane's weird like that in the Cessna. I did have a decent flare. We lifted up, and yep, that was a good enough flare. Excellent. That was a good landing, except for coming a little off the center line in that. But that's because again, I'm not using an actual rudder. I have the twisty joystick. So we'll go ahead and stop the thing here, guys. Oh, look at the deer coming to say hello. How's it going, guys? Which is funny because I'm in a replay and paused, and the deer shouldn't be moving. But hey, XPlane, there's deer on Davis Island. If you guys like the video, you guys want to see some more stuff, comment, share, subscribe. I don't think I'm going to get a ton of views, a ton of anything off of this video or any of my next couple of videos. This is kind of to throw myself out there, see what's going on, and we'll go from there. Other than that, guys, it's been fun flying with you guys. We'll do some more flights here in the future, and I'll talk to you guys in the not too distant future.